Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Yahweh Kakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, many blessings and salutations, and to the hopeful elect, the house of David, that by after I would die for when these epistles are written for in these last days. Shalom to the elect. I just want to go ahead and get started in this. This is Joel 3:9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war and wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Right. So let's go into that word real quick. You'll see why I'm getting this. Just going into understanding the times that we're in. All right. Word prepare.
Strong's H6942.
Kadash. Kadash.
Second entry. Kadesh.
Right?
Kadesh.
Word there is Kadash, right? It says to consecrate, sanctify, prepare, dedicate, be hallowed, be holy, be sanctified, be separate. So these things that are happening in the earth, right now, this word right here, prepare, is Kadash, right? It says to be set apart, to be consecrated, to be hallowed, consecrated, tabooed, to show oneself sacred or majestic. So the Lord is having these armies, or these leaders of armies prepare themselves in such a way where they're talking amongst themselves as, hey, look, man, we see Babylon getting ready to go down, man. This is our time to strike, right? This is our time to actually come up against this war that was prophesied in the scriptures, all around the scriptures, really, right? This is the time to come up against this war. So they're getting themselves together, they're preparing, and they're getting their economies in such a way where they're now preparing for war to come together. Or it's like for war to be on horizon, right? We see all these things as the men of the Lord willing, I'm a part of that number. There's the prophets, right? We're telling you, we're warning you. Can you not see it? All these other armies are coming up against Babylon, right? To observe, all right, as holy, keep sacred, right? So it says, prepare. This is Joel 3:9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. That's right. And all of this is going to be kicked off, all right, by the Lord raising up a certain type of nation, all right. A certain type of nation that's going to get this thing kicked off, right? Everything's geared towards World War III. Now, of course, we're going to talk about that chip. Of course, that is a major prophecy. This is also a major prophecy, and it was clear 5, 6, 7 years ago, hell, 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Where this thing was headed towards. We might not have, as ourselves, been in the truth at that time or during that time period in certain areas, but it was always geared towards that. America was always going to be segregated as far as amongst the world, a world elite. They were always going to be looked at, set apart, okay, because that's what's going to happen. The other nations are going to prepare. As it says, they're setting apart their mentality from coming together to come up for war, right? And it's all according to the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai. It ain't of anything you as yourself can do. It's what the Lord wants. And he controls all spirits, right? Ezekiel 38:1, it says, and the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog and the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushua, thy power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. Who is this talking about? When you get an ancient map, that area, okay, that area that is talking about ancient Gog and Magog is the area of Russia today. The Lord is just giving you some little foreshadowing. That's it. Just giving you foreshadowing. right? Just go get an ancient biblical map, and it'll give you the area of Russia today. Everything's coming together prophecy-wise, man. Right? It says, and say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shah, thy power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog and Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back, all right, and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will break thee and I will bring thee forth, and all thine armies and horses and horsemen, and all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, and even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Right. So, hey, listen. The Heavenly Father has this thing outlined for a major royal rumble in the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, which is the valley of Yahweh's decision, right? Harmageddon, right? These people, listen, they are nothing more. That's why we don't fear Edomites. We don't fear Edomites, right? They ask us, people, you know, of our people. Right? They ask us, well, why, you know, they really want to, they ask in some cases, but really want to know is, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Well, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm telling you about it ahead of time. What me and the Heavenly Father got worked out between, you know, how the Heavenly Father has my journey is of no consequence, right? Whether it be martyrdom, whatever. The Heavenly Father has everything mapped out, so there shouldn't be any fear. Although there's a little apprehensiveness, because listen, we're in the flesh. If you're being honest with yourself, but the Spirit is what's going to ultimately take over. That's why there are going to be certain of those who will be martyrs. It won't be a big deal for them. Because it'll fit right in with what we understand this ultimate goal is, which is the kingdom of heaven being set up on the earth, in the ruins, on top of the ruins of Babylon the Great. Oh, and make no mistake about it, Babylon must be destroyed. If you're a bleeding heart liberal, this ain't for you, right? You want some love every goddamn body? We ain't for you. We talking about separation, okay, and bringing church and state together under the power of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, and everybody will serve. But there must be events that will happen that leads up to this, and this right here, this World War III. This is a major event, and a lot of people are talking, right? Persia, Ethiopia, Libya, with them, it's like your Persia, Ethiopia, Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. The Lord is raising up Russia in this time period to come up against Babylon, who is America, right? Jeremiah 50:1, it says, the word of the Lord, it's like the word that the Lord Yahweh spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. It says, declare ye among the nations, and publish and set up a standard. Publish and conceal not. Say, Babylon is taken, Baal is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces, her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces. Right. So that's the narrative in the earth right now. Everybody's saying that Babylon is on its last, it's looking like it's getting ready to fall. Look, you got the BRICS nations. Okay, you know, because I've been talking about the BRICS nations for at least 5 years now, right? The BRICS have been moving swiftly together to come up against the whore, all right, and the beast, which is NATO and the EU, the whore being America. This is all according to prophecy. If those who cannot understand this, right, if you don't want to take the time to study and learn it for yourself, and you just want to scoff against it, like, you know, vocab Malone, well, that's fine. You'll be exposed as well, right? That's just a matter of the point. Right, this is Jeremiah 50:2. It says, declare ye among the nations. It says, publish and set up a standard, publish and conceal not. Babylon is taken, Baal is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces, her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces. For out of the north, and here's the prophecy of Russia being raised up according to Ezekiel 38, right? The Lord is putting a spirit of fight on the earth right now. See, despite what the Christian will tell you, right? they'll tell you that the Lord loves everybody. The Christian is absolutely is incomplete. It's like he's incorrect, right? The Lord does not ever love everybody. He has use for everybody, but he does not love everybody, right? He loves his Israelites, and not even that, he loves his elect, right? He loves all Israelites, but hey, listen, 2/3 got to go. He loves them that much that they got to go. They'll come back in the kingdom of heaven, and they'll be reestablished under the correct order of the king of the throne of David. The throne of David, Christians. I never hear Christians talking about the throne of David because they don't want to acknowledge the lineage of Yahushua himself that led up to Yahushua and to this point where we are today. And how prophecy played out in the entire effect. Now it's leading towards World War III. Right? Jeremiah 50:3, it says, "For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast. In those days and in that same time, in those days and in that time, saith the Lord Yahweh, the children of Israel shall come, and they and the children of Judah together, going and weeping, they shall go and seek the Lord Yahweh, their power." And we're clearly in that time. Notice that it's talking about in Babylon that the children of Israel and the children of Judah, which is the three other tribes, all right, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. The children of Judah are those other three tribes. The children of Israel are the northern tribes. Okay? They're coming together in Babylon. That didn't happen. Right? It's like that's the last time it happened, but it's going to happen again. And it happened now. This is a part of the prophecy of us coming together during the Babylonian captivity. Because remember, the northern kingdom was in Assyria, right? Before they left and went over and came over to what we call today the Americas. Right? You go to what is it, Ecclesiastes 13? Ecclesiasticus, Sirach 13, right? So all of this is all prophetic. I'm doing all of this to lay out the groundwork that eventually is going to lead to America having to be come up against by Russia or Gog and Magog, right? For out of the nation, from out of the north, there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate. How are you going to make the land desolate? Via intercontinental ballistic missiles, y'all. Okay? It says, "And none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast." They ain't going to give a damn that you have a nice cattle ranch over in the Idaho area. All right, in the greater Boise area. He ain't gonna care. He ain't gonna care that you just had your first newborn, right? You've been taking epidurals. You've been, you've been really preparing yourself. He's not gonna give a goddamn that Ebony K. Williams just finally became a surrogate parent, being a single baby mother on her own. Through injection, right? Vladimir ain't gonna give a goddamn that you're following the stages of your pregnancy. He's not gonna care. That's the point of this whole thing. Babylon is on borrowed time, y'all. Borrowed, extremely borrowed at this point, right? And Esau knows this. You who don't watch or pay attention are not. You're not cognizant of this, and you'll be caught in like as a thief in the night, right? All right. For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast. That's right. So listen, the Heavenly Father has this thing lined up. Joel 3 and 8, 3 and 9 tells you that they're preparing for war, right? Make no mistake about it what times you're in. Joel 3 and 11, it says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather together, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord Yahweh. That's right. So in the midst of the battle is being prepared. Everybody's being put in their positions. Everything's happening exactly as it was prophesied. And even the UN, okay? Even they acknowledge this. Everybody sees it. You that are not paying attention, you ain't gonna see it. This is in RT News. It says the new war is coming. It says the dire warning comes amid rising tensions between Israel and Lebanon's Hezbollah. Because ultimately, right now it's Hezbollah, all right, which, by the way, they're backed by the Iranians. See, everything's lining all together. Who you think Persia is, right? Persia has to choose Gog and Magog, right? Well, when they have right now you have a proxy war of Hezbollah versus Israel, all right, getting ready to be kicked off. It's a long, hot summer, y'all. And listen, Israel is getting ready to come up against Iran. That's who they really want to fight. That's who this really is about. Well, once Israel and Iran lock horns, guess what? That's a proxy. Those two are proxies. Right? It's like a picture frame within a picture frame. Basically, you got Israel, right, who is a proxy for America, and you got Iran, who is a proxy for Russia. And that, it comes into the prophecy of what again, y'all? Say it with me, Jeremiah 49. Okay? That's right. Let's go to Jeremiah 49 and 20. It says, therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh that he hath taken against Edom and his purposes, that he hath proposed against the inhabitants of Teman, right, which is the Germans. It says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. The least of the flock is those 1948ers, although they're the head at this point. Because they use a certain title, J-E-W, that they stole from us, the actual Judah, right? They stole our entire identity and they're using it to try to conquer the entire world under a system called Edomite supremacy, which is going to lead to the chip, which is really the Roman Empire system, right? Goes back to the Roman Empire. They're trying to lock this entire earth down under the old system of Roman power, the entire globe, all right, but they're going to use technology, all right, as the way to do it. Therefore, they'll be able to control you and everything you do, okay, and even the thoughts that you have in your mind, that by that little device they got planted inside of you. But they want to get to that world. But the elite right now, they're setting up global tension where nuclear war is going to be a thing that's going to actually happen. And it's going to help the elite. This is their vision, y'all. It's going to help the elite, okay, cut the number of people down on the earth so they can be a little bit more controllable. Go back to the Georgia Guidestones. Think about it. They want to maintain the world population at a 500 million. Okay, 500 million is where they want to keep the population to. It's a very much more manageable. All right, and they can hog up more resources and control the people. And they can't have anything to say about it. Go read the Georgia Guidestones. It's all out there. They told you. They have to tell you, actually, right? Jeremiah 49:20, it says, therefore hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that he have taken against Edom, it says, and his purposes, that he have proposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. That's right. All right. Verse 22, it says, behold, he shall come up and fly as the eagle and spread his wings over Basra, talking about the Lord. It says, and at that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pangs. Woo-wee. Hey, the Lord telling you that he's going to come with a ferocity upon these people. They are the people of his curse. They have been stricken of their pigmentation, right? So that they're easily identifiable. The way they're trying to get around it is they're trying to basically make anybody who has a so-called brighter skin tone also Edomite, right? So you got Northern Kingdom, they may have a different shade than Judah, and so he'll classify them as so-called white. He'll classify Asians as so-called white. He's fucking doctoring the numbers. But really, you're really the smallest amount of people in the earth. You're being called out for the thief and the liar and the murderer that you are, and he doesn't like that. All right, Jeremiah 49:22, it says, behold, he shall come up and fly as the eagle. Okay. It says, and spread his wings over Basra. And at that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pangs. They're gonna bitch up. That's basically what the Lord is saying. They're gonna bitch up. Okay. Now back in the article, we're not gonna read the whole article. If you want, you can go check it out in RT World News. Right? It says the world is on the brink of a catastrophe. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, said on Friday, pointing to the risk of a potential devastating conflict between Israel and Hezbollah, which is really Hezbollah is a proxy for Iran, which is funny because Iran's using the proxy when really they're the proxy as well. Okay. Anyway, it says the head of the Shia militia, Hassan Nasrallah, warned on Wednesday that Hezbollah is prepared for a full-scale conflict with Israel and could invade the Jewish states' northern territories in the case of further escalation, which is going to bring Lebanon in. It says the statement came after one of the group's senior commanders, Haj Sami Talib Abdullah, was killed in an Israeli strike on southern Lebanon last week. Now, so you got to understand, because now I'm going to give you the understanding of what's going on right now. So Israel basically is trying to fight 3-4 different wars at once, right? You already know about the Hamas, quote unquote, which they created themselves. Now you got Hezbollah, who was trained, okay, and equipped, by Iran's Revolutionary Guard, right? So they're an arm of the, not officially, but that's what they are, right? Sort of like what ISIS is for America, right? So Hezbollah is under the arm of Iran. Then you got Lebanon, who also has a lot of Hezbollah fighters, right? Which a lot of them are really from Lebanon. So you got that aspect into it, right? So you got fighters in Lebanon, and they're attacking inside of Lebanon. I'm talking about Israel. They're shooting. Remember that bomb that happened at that wedding about a year or two ago? That was, I believe, in Lebanon, right? Beirut, I believe, right? So you got that. You got Iran, right? Who is the major, who Israel really got to smoke with, right? Then on top of that, you got Yemen, right? You got the whole Red Sea. Think about it. All right. So now I'm going to give you the breakdown on the Red Sea, what's going on currently right now, right? What's going on currently right now is those Houthis, right? Remember the Houthis? The Houthis are a part, they're basically the resistance in Yemen, right? That's what that whole civil war is about, right? So the war in Yemen, the war in Yemen, all right, is Saudi Arabia, which is also another ally, was an ally of America, right? And they're fighting that war in Yemen. right, against the Houthis. Then on top of that, the whole entire Red Sea, which is very, very important for Slovakia. The Red Sea is very important for strategic travel. It's a channel that they use, all right, to bring in weapons, all kind, aid, all kind of shit. You got to use the Red Sea, especially in that area. And now the Houthis have basically sunk ships, and they're basically stopped all travel. I want to say, when I was reading, it was 91% of international travel or aid that was coming in through the Red Sea has been stopped by the Houthis of Yemen. So now you got Yemen, you got Lebanon, you got Iran, using the Hezbollah, right? All that's popping off, and hey, listen, and people don't want to act like, look, the prophecies ain't really a big deal. Okay, okay, because you're not watching. Because if you are watching, you'll be able to understand that fact and bring it out for what it is. And you can see where everything's leading to, right? It says the statement came after one of the group's senior commanders, I already read that, one rash move, one miscalculation could trigger a catastrophe that goes far beyond the border and frankly beyond imagination. The UN Secretary General told reporters at a press conference, adding that the world cannot afford Lebanon to become another Gaza. He said, he called on both sides to urgently recommit to peace. And we know that's not going to happen. The world must say loudly. And then you go on top of that, y'all, listen, it's so much stuff that I have to kind of qualify, but I'm going to, without making this video too long, I'm going to say Egypt is now entered into the chat. Remember, Egypt is a long-time rival of the current state of Israel. Right? Long time rivals, but then Jimmy Carter got them to, put their shit together and, and have a peace, or whatever, right? And then the guy who actually from the Egyptian president, which I'm big into documentaries, y'all, as y'all can tell, the Egyptian president who actually did the deal with Israel and America, he was actually assassinated not too long after that. And you can imagine why he was. So basically, this is what's going on, man. This is all being built up, and we're all watching for when this thing gets ready to pop the hell off. And we're waiting. We're absolutely waiting, and we love it, right? It says UN peacekeepers on the ground are already working to de-escalate tensions and help prevent miscalculation in an extremely challenging environment, Guterres added, without providing any specific details. All of this is gearing towards what we've already been telling you what was going to happen. Okay, and they're trying to prevent the inevitable. This is Revelation 9:12. It says, one woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter. And the second world war is already taking place. So now we're gearing towards World War III, right? That's the one to end all the misery that we're dealing with. You so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, you want to know what oppression looks like to be, if you want to know what it looks like to see oppression disappear, you need this to happen. You don't think you do. You think you're thinking with your flesh. But trust me, you need what we're talking about on this video in particular and other videos like this, all right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemal Shah. You need this to happen. Because this is how we get our status in the earth back, right? We're going to be back on top where we belong. We're going to have Yahweh Shah ruling this entire earth and universe. And we're going to have law, statutes, and commandments. People are going to know what their job is and we're going to know what a woman is again, right? An alligator is going to be able to be an alligator again. All right? Fucking donkey gonna know what a donkey is. We're gonna all know everything with the way it was intended to be. And we need vehicles like World War III to happen, to make it happen. And those who are preaching peace, but they don't ever talk about World War III, see, because through for peace to come, war must happen. It has to happen. Revelation 11 and 14, it says, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. It comes quickly, and it's coming quickly. I just gave you an understanding of the Middle East right now, as much as I could, you know what I'm saying, within within my understanding, right? Obviously, I'm not over there, but through the Spirit, the Lord has the Spirit out there to understand what's going on and to bring it out to the people. So guess what? Israel is getting ready to draw America into World War III. And the country from the north in Jeremiah 50 and 3 is talking about Russia. Right? Fair use, YouTube, fair use. Fair use, YouTube, fair use. Fair use, YouTube, fair use. I'm going to play this video.
Is Putin's Russia ready for world nuclear war? A war plan is being spoken about, a war map is being drawn and broadcast on Russian state TV. This map points at countries where Russia could deploy missiles. Why? To strike the West. You heard the Russian President Vladimir Putin say as much, that since the West was supplying long-range missiles to Ukraine to strike within Russia, there is nothing to keep Russia from following suit. And just taking that thought forward, the Russian state TV has come up with a map. It basically looks at countries which, according to the news outlet, are quote-unquote ready to strike our enemies. Which are these countries? Cuba, of course, is on the list. That also happens to be where Russian warships and a nuclear submarine are sailing to. We told you about this developing story as early as last week. Now, Caracas and Cuba are not the only spots on the Russian state TV's map for possible missile deployment. There's also Yemen and North Korea.
Нашей редакции подумали, куда бы могли направиться наши ракеты, в какие дружественные юрисдикции. Слушайте, я думаю, что у Соединенных Штатов Америки в сегодняшнем мире такое количество сторонников, в кавычках, что миллиарды людей были бы счастливы и выстроились бы в очередь за то, чтобы им дали возможность по Соединенным Штатам Америки как-нибудь ударить.
Я вот все время, Евгений, думаю, когда мы покажем в передаче здесь карту, не куда по нам бьют американские ракеты, а куда наши ракеты могут ударить по Соединенным Штатам на весь мир. Что в зоне, например, досягаемости Анкоридж, Гонолулу, Сиэтл, Сан-Франциско. Почему будут им не продемонстрировать вот такую карту? Представляете, как они будут кричать на весь мир, что русские.
Now, like you can see, the last frame there are 8 countries marked on that map. Mexico, Cuba, Venezuela, Nicaragua, Serbia, Iran, Yemen, and North Korea. The Russian state TV saying these are the 8 countries from where Russia could strike the West and Western assets. The state TV missed out Belarus. Russian missiles, remember, are already deployed there. What's more, Belarus has just said that its army is taking part in the second stage of Russian nuclear exercises. The first phase of this drill took place last month in southern Russia. Belarus's defense minister, Lieutenant General Viktor Krenin, in fact, said that the exercises are meant to increase our readiness to use so-called retaliatory weapons, quote-unquote. Adding, I'm quoting further, now more than ever before, we are determined, quote-unquote. Now, coming back to the missile deployment map now, this is what the Russian state TV is calling an asymmetrical response to Western deployment. At one point, in fact, the presenter says, and I'm quoting here, Moscow could start supplying the same high-precision, long-range missiles, except they will be of better quality since they are Russian, to those nations that are ready to strike our enemies, quote-unquote. You know, had this not been the state TV, this would not be primetime news. But given the source of this map, one cannot make the mistake of ignoring it. Sure, it is riddled with propaganda, but could there also be some truth to the claims being made? The map highlighted North Korea. Now, we have news coming in that Putin will be visiting Pyongyang in the coming weeks. You see, here is a country that Russia has really stepped up its ties with since the start of the Ukraine war.
Yes, because like you got to understand all of these things that are happening, it's all moving towards the ultimate goal of Babylon being absolutely stripped of its power and pelted with nuclear weapons. Because this is what's it's gearing towards this. If you're on the shores of Babylon, which is America today, if you're on the shores of America today, listen, the only way out is if you're an Israelite and you must be of the elect. That's the only way out. I don't care who you think you are. I don't care what you think you know. I don't care if you disagree with the Bible or that you may convert and you think that if I just convert and I don't believe it, it won't matter. Well, whatever. We're telling you the Yahweh's honest fact, and you don't want to believe it. That's fine. When that day comes, you will be, as the scripture says, you will be as the woman. The Lord say that He's gonna make the hearts of the men, the mighty men of Edom. All right, the so-called mighty white man. All right, He's gonna make your hearts as a woman in pangs. The Lord ain't fucking around.
Last year, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, remember, visited Russia. Earlier this year, the West accused Russia of using North Korean-supplied short-range ballistic missiles. Russia decided to neither confirm nor deny the claim. Putin last visited North Korea in the year 2000. This was in the first year of his presidency. Will missile deployment really be on the agenda of his upcoming visit? Apart from the missile deployment, there is another option the Russian state TV claims Russia could consider. This is the nuclear option. Would Putin consider it? Speaking at the St. Petersburg International...
She just made a point right there. Let's get it. Will Putin consider it? Not only will he consider it, he's gonna fucking do it. This is Ezekiel 38:10. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem thy power. It shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. I'm gonna let you ponder on that. What you think the evil thought is?
National Economic Forum, Putin said, even the combined nuclear arsenals of Europe and the United States would not be able to match Russia's should there be a confrontation. Putin added that a nuclear scenario is unlikely because Russia, he said, is in a position of supremacy in the Ukraine war. But he also said, and I'm quoting, the use is possible in an exceptional case in the event of a threat to the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the country. Remember, in 1993...
What he's saying is, right, because that's a part of their doctrine, is that even if they feel the threat of a possible American war, they have it written in their doctrine. I remember I did a video about a year or two ago about that, written in the Russian doctrine, that they have the ability to just go out with an all-out nuclear response. They don't necessarily need America to kick it off. This is baked in their Russian doctrine. If their sovereignty, he just said that, if their sovereignty is threatened, they have the option of going nuclear. And that's where we want it to go, right? Everything is leading towards this. To be in denial of this is to just be a fucking idiot at this point, right?
Abandoned the Soviet pledge of no first use of nuclear weapons. And on this show, we have time and again spoken about Russia's threshold for using nuclear weapons. So I will not get into it again. Instead, we focus on what's happening on the ground. And we see if there are chances, the escalation will reach a point where this map may just come to life. Ukrainian forces claim they have struck a new generation Russian Sukhoi Su-57 fighter jet. Kiev claims the plane was capable of carrying stealth missiles across hundreds of kilometers. What's more, it was one of the countable few Su-57s in Moscow's arsenal. The warplane was reportedly destroyed at Russia's Akhtubinsk airfield. This airfield is 589 kilometers from the front lines in Ukraine. One of Russia's pro-war blogger, in fact, claiming the aircraft was hit by a drone. Talk about striking within Russia. There is more. Look at what the Kiev Independent is reporting. That Ukraine has hit Russian S-400 and S-300 systems in Crimea.
Now, so she's just going into the Ukrainian war itself. But what we're doing is we're using the overall macro, right? We're using the macro of the entire situation to break down and have an understanding of everything that's going on in the news right now. All right. But we're marrying it with the scriptures so that you can understand that eventually, all right, it's going to come to pass that these things of Babylon the Great spoken about, mainly about the fourth kingdom, is coming to pass right now in your time. While we're walking around in this godly, ungodly flesh, right? We have the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai in the earth doing work. This is Daniel 2:40. It says, "And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron breaketh all these, shall they break in pieces and bruise." And that's what happened. That's where we are right now. The Roman Empire, which is the fourth empire, all right, the fourth kingdom, as it says, right? It's doing exactly what it did. It broke in pieces all those other nations, all right, and they consumed them and made it into this gigantic behemoth of a fucking power on the earth right now, led by the whore, which is America. 41, it says, "And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. The kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, and for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay." So what is that saying? It's saying that even within this system, under the fourth kingdom, there's going to be division, and it's going to break apart at the seams. While still maintaining a happy face in the public, they're behind the scenes, they're absolutely falling apart. Their disagreements, wars are being fought, and the ultimate war is going to happen. Right? Which I'm not going to have a time to get into this video, but this is why Congress just passed that bill for those who are for the ultimate draft, or it's like for that draft, for the military draft. I've been screaming about that for at least 5 years as well. I knew exactly that they were going to have to come to get to a draft at some point. They would have to return to the draft. The numbers are dwindling. It's been dwindling for the last 5 years. That's what they ain't telling you in the mainstream. It's been dwindling for 5 years now. And these people know that. So now they're going to have to reintroduce the draft. Now, see, right now they're starting out talking about 18 to 26. Oh, but that's going to increase. Oh, but that's just going to increase, y'all. Right? Because they're going to need bodies. And you women, you are going to the front line. And in some cases, they might get so desperate, they ain't going to care that you got a baby bump. They ain't gonna give a goddamn. They're gonna still give you your state issued M16, okay, 1 shot, 1 kill, and they're gonna move your ass along that assembly line, okay? And you're going to go out and you're going to defend this country since you love it so fucking much. This is Daniel 2:42, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And that prophecy is actually happening right now. You can see it. Right? Verse 43, whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle within themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave to one another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. That's right. So they're gonna try to keep this thing together, but the Lord finna send his son back. Verse 44, and in the days of these kings shall the Most High of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people other than the Israelites. It says, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. If you are talking about, well, we could just have a separate America over here and y'all can have all the rest of the earth. No, nigga. We need to build our kingdom on the ashes of yours. That's the entire point of this. It's the entire point of this exercise. We want to build our kingdom on top of yours, the ashes of it. Right? Now, of course, you're going to disagree because you're the subject that's being overtaken and kingdom being destroyed to build our kingdom. Of course, you're going to feel some kind of way.
Crimea. One S-400 anti-aircraft missile unit was reportedly hit near Zankui. Two more S-300 units were reportedly hit in Chornomorsk and Yevpatoria. This report quotes the Ukrainian military as saying that the radar systems of these units stopped working immediately after the strikes. And how does Ukraine know that? Because the Russian S-400 and S-300s stopped intercepting missiles that were being fired by Ukraine. So now that you know what's going on the ground, where do you think this war is headed? Towards peace.
To World War III. That's where it's headed to. With that, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem Al-Shai, Ba'Shem Al-Kadash. This video kind of going a little bit long, you know what I'm saying? But, I pray that the edification was there for you. It was my pleasure to bring it to you, and made it to next time. Shalom.